Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, August 16th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Libert. A press conference held in Bastia on August 15th to reveal the preliminary results for St. Kitts and Nevis for the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination (CAPE) results. Giving the overview, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honourable Sean Richards, noted that for the May-June 2018 exams within the Federation, 1,146 candidates wrote 5,718 examinations for CSEC, 754 school candidates, and 707 private candidates. Of that number, 4,801 entries were students in schools, and the remaining 917 subject entries from private candidates. Acceptable grades returned, that is grades 1, 2, or 3, were 4,469.
Bastia High School returned 631 acceptable grades out of 754. Keyon High School returned 451 out of 553. Charles E. Mills Secondary School returned 351 out of 430. Charlestown Secondary School returned 564 out of 715. Gingerland Secondary School returned 251 out of 262. Immaculate Conception Catholic School returned 182 out of 231. Nevis International Secondary School returned 30 out of 37. Sadler's Secondary School returned 235 out of 284. Virtuals High School returned 457 out of 525. Washington Archibald High School returned 794 out of 1,010. St. Kitts private candidates returned 328 out of 620. New Horizon Rehabilitation Center returned 10 out of 10. Nevis Private returned 125 out of 204. Her Majesty's Prison returned 11 out of 19. Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College Adult and Continuing Education returned 49 out of 64.
The top CSEC performers were also recognized.
Zida Knight of the Bastia High School, 13 grade 1s, 1 grade 2. Abion Stevens of the Bastia High School, 11 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s.
Meantime, according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honourable Sean Richards, 530 candidates wrote 1,864 subjects for CAPE, 455 college candidates, and 75 private. Of that number, 1,728 entries were students in colleges, and the remaining 136 subject entries from private candidates. Acceptable grades returned, that is grades 1 to 5, were 1,628.
At the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, Arts, Science and General Education Division returned 1,022 acceptable grades out of 1,163. Nevis Sixth Form College returned 500 out of 565. Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College Adult and Continuing Education Division returned 80 out of 105. Nevis Private returned 5 out of 10. Her Majesty's Prison returned 21 of 21.
The top CAPE performers were also recognized.
Roger Williams of the Nevis Sixth Form College, 4 grade 1s, 9 grade 2s, 1 Grade 3. Ronicia Liebert of the Nevis Sixth Form College, 5 Grade 1s, 1 Grade 2. Tarana Kaka of the Nevis Sixth Form College, 5 Grade 1s. Vivian Woodley of CFBC, Arts, Science and General Studies, 4 Grade 1s, 2 Grade 2s. Alexander Myers of CFBC, Arts, Science and General Studies, 4 Grade 1s, 1 Grade 2. Joan Bass of CFBC, 4 Grade 1s, 1 Grade 2. Cale Thomas of CFBC, 4 Grade 1s, 1 Grade 2.
Minister Richards noted that throughout the next few weeks, a number of students will query their grades. This will affect the percentages given. Additionally, there are some students who may have been ungraded. Those results are pending and may result in a fluctuation of percentages.
This report is by no means the full report that will be given later in the year, which would give a better picture as to what would have taken place individually within the various secondary schools and also at the Nevis Sixth Form College at CFBC, and also relative to private candidates and a number of other private centers such as Her Majesty's Prison, the New Horizon Center, etc.
Meantime, Chief Education Officer Dr. Tricia Esdale, who was a part of the panel at the press conference, was pleased to announce that according to a report from Grenada, there has been some improvements in several areas and in several of the schools in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I certainly do see a trend in some of our schools. Some of our smaller secondary schools are entering more candidates and are seeing the success of that strategy. Despite the fact that more children are being given the opportunity who may have maybe less of a confirmed, degree of success afforded them, they are being exposed, and it is showing in the results that we're seeing in our schools across the board. I'd also like to say that I recognize in looking at some of our reports and in hearing the results that, as always, there's room for improvement. I think when we look at the scores in St. Kitts and Nevis and we look at the regional performance, that St. Kitts and Nevis continues to perform very well. And so our goal is to compete against ourselves to do better every year, and I hope that next year we will continue to see even greater improvement than we've seen this year.
Dr. Esdale congratulated teachers and parents who supported the students who took exams and who would have achieved success by doing their best. Still to come, Ambassador Lee pledges to advance cooperation between St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China, Taiwan. The details right after this break.
Known as Uwali, land of beautiful waters by its native inhabitants, and later nicknamed Queen of the Caribbean by British settlers, Nevis has long relied on its natural prowess and resources to create livelihoods for its people. The people of Nevis have long remained connected to the gifts nature has bestowed. As an ambassador of this majestic island, it is my duty to encourage my people to nurture, preserve, and protect what makes us unique as a people and strong as a country.
This one is dedicated to my lovely little island.
Welcome back. The close collaboration and partnership forged between the federal government and the Nevis Island Administration (NIA) since 2015 were counted among the top achievements of the Government of National Unity. During an appearance on the Straight Talk radio program on Monday night, August 13th, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris cited the improved relationship and said that the government represents fully now the people on the island of Nevis. The inclusion of 2 members of the federal parliament from Nevis, namely the Honorable Vance Amory and the Honorable Mark Brantley in the cabinet of Prime Minister Harris, was cited as one of the main reasons for the greater cooperation that has become a mainstay in the work agenda. He said the government set out a platform for cooperation with the people of Nevis that includes providing support to assist them with their budgetary requirements, as determined by the elected representative, Prime Minister Harris stated. The Honorable Vance Amory serves in the cabinet as a senior minister and Minister of Nevis Affairs, Labour, Social Security, and Ecclesiastical Affairs. He joined the cabinet in 2015 while serving as the Premier of Nevis, a post he held up to December 2017. The Honourable Mark Brantley serves in the cabinet as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Aviation and was elected by the people of Nevis last year to lead the NIA, succeeding the Honourable Vance Amory. Prime Minister Harris added that access to funds from the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, SIDF, was also opened up and representation from Nevis was added to the governing board. The Prime Minister, who also holds the portfolio for Finance, said this was done to ensure that fair representation is given when projects go before the board for consideration. All of them have had the excellent support of the federal government and, by extension, the federal entities in this regard, the SIDF, Prime Minister Harris said. The new resident ambassador of the Republic of China Taiwan to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Tom Lee, has pledged to do everything he can to advance the strides made by his predecessors in strengthening the bonds of friendship and bilateral cooperation between the two nations. Ambassador Lee, who succeeded His Excellency George Gowe Cho, made that commitment on Tuesday, August 14th, when he made his first official call on Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris at his office at government headquarters. His Excellency Lee told Prime Minister Harris during the brief meeting that he feels very honored to be posted as an ambassador to the Republic of China Taiwan to this beautiful country. The ambassador further noted that the two countries have very strong ties and said, based on these good relations, they will continue to work hard to further deepen these relations. Prime Minister Harris extended his personal congratulations to His Excellency Lee on his appointment as resident ambassador to the Republic of China Taiwan to St. Kitts and Nevis, noting that the bilateral relations between St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China Taiwan span more than 3 decades. Prime Minister Harris told Ambassador Lee that he has now been entrusted with the baton to ensure the continuation and growth of this mutually beneficial relationship. According to the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service, Ambassador Lee earlier presented his credentials to Governor General His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton at Government House. He also paid a courtesy call on Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Mark Brantley. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.